This podcast is part of the You Run Network, where you can catch so many amazing podcasts like ours, true crime, and everything else in between. Welcome to the Paranormal Misfits podcast, where the curious roams, the weird feels at home, and horror is just another day in the office. Day in the office. I'm Chrissy.
I'm Nino Daniel, and you're watching not Disney Channel.
No, not the Disney.
Not.
I
was listening to Wizards of Waverly pod yesterday with Annalise Vanderpaul, and I still have enough of it to catch up with. Oh my god.
Not bad?
No, it's not bad. It's just like, oh, I didn't realize Disney was that bad.
Oh, come on now. They're like the workhorse. But like them kids are worked until
it's giving like
it is. All right. So just to let our listeners know, this is the first time ever I have done one on true crime. So be nice to me.
Fake crime. What about fake crime? What about
how about all of those haunted places where like crime has happened, but you know it's like in the 1800s, so you don't have as much to go.
Could you imagine? Sarah Lee wrote on her parchment with quill that Matthewson came out like, what? Also, if anyone does have criticisms for Chrissy and I about hosting a true crime, I text her.
I was about to say we should literally make her a little box in here somewhere.
Oh no, because that actually invites shit.
No. We're good.
Honestly, I already have I have high functioning depression and anxiety. I don't need
You don't need more.
I already check behind the curtain in the shower, and I have a glass door for my curtain, so I still check behind it.
Mm-hmm.
The glass door is clear, folks. I know what my shampoo. Anywho, Chrissy, we're doing true crime today. What are we true criming, babes?
So we are true criming the death of a very popular social media star who was on Instagram. Her name was Esmeralda Gonzalez.
Esmeralda Gonzalez.
Yep. And she was, her murder, plus where she lived, was actually in Las Vegas. And it was, I wouldn't say it was fairly recent, but within the past, 2019 to past five to 10 years is when this happened. Which is, if you think about it, pretty current, especially. She was one of the really big Instagram lifestyle models, kind of. So her family's from Mexico. They grew up in They grew up in the historic West Side district of Las Vegas. She was noted as a very driven, beautiful girl, and she really is beautiful. She's gorgeous. She is a middle child and extremely smart. Her brother highlighted, which I thought was really cute. Her older brother talks so highly of her.
That's awesome.
So let's see. She was the only female in her chess club.
Oh, so she kind of had a Queen's Gambit thing.
A little bit, yeah. So
very cool.
So after high school, when Instagram started taking off, I think by, Instagram started in 2012?
Instagram started, I want to say Instagram started when I was in just barely taking off while I was in high school. And then it popped off 20, actually, hold on. I have my phone. Ladies and gents, I'm going to quickly Google when did Instagram come out? Oh, October 6th, 2010. So it's right. It's a year after I graduated high school. Okay. But it didn't pop off until I want to say 2012, 2013, when everyone was using those god-awful sepia filters on every photo.
I remember those because I had a couple.
And what was the point of everyone trying to fix the lighting and the
everything
where your nose disappears? Apparently not having a nose was a cute thing,
especially for, and I'm just gonna say, especially for the emo crowd, because they would be so pale and they do the really high photo. It was still MySpace, honestly.
Honestly, I think the emo crowd just kind of moved over
Mm-hmm.
into the space of Instagram. I don't think Esmeralda was in the emo crowd though.
No, she definitely wasn't.
No.
She was more of the and she gained really popular notoriety. It was just like, I wouldn't say overnight, but because of how consistent she was from 2015 and on, um, you know, she was Latina, she was petite, she was pretty, she had
All
nice
the making.
clothes, she had great jewelry, she loved fashion, social media, and wanted to be a successful content creator, which she was. She had over 300,000 followers. She would get invited to all sorts of fun things throughout Las Vegas. She got a lot of
Mm,
brand deals. Her house that she had was like two
house.
stories.
Yeah.
Two stories, had a nice car, BMW.
Mm.
I know. I'm like, dang, what did I do wrong in 2015?
Honestly, what did I do wrong, period? Like, if I could go back and redo anything, I would have wanted to like
Really hone in on the social
really hone
media.
on the social means because like you know where we could be filming this? I could be in fucking Belize right now.
Oh, speaking of Belize, that ties into the story, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. So anyways, so she's a Gemini.
Oh
It,
gosh.
our our planning is impeccable, by the way, because this whole
Oh, this will come out.
between her birthday to her disappearance is basically the last week of May. So I'm like reading this, and I was writing it down one night, and I was like, we did it again.
Oops, we did it again.
Thank you, Britney Spears. So anyways, there is one thing with her. So when it came to her health, she actually suffered from mental health disorders. So she was schizophrenic and bipolar. And when she was on her meds, she was great. When she stopped taking her meds, her perception of reality definitely became skewed. And that also ties into how she gets to being disappeared and then potentially murdered. Well, not potentially, but then ends up being murdered. So leading up to the events, she was spending time with her family. So the time that her brother calls in the LVPD to investigate was May 31st. He had seen her 5 days prior. They were celebrating her birthday. And at the birthday, she had let it be known that she was having a little bit of mental health issues. Like she was having a hard time honing
Like made
things
an
in
announcement, right?
to her family. So they made sure to stay on top of her, basically checking in, going over to her house, all of that stuff. So when it was the older brother's turn, he was driving. He had left, I think he left like a convention or something. And he tried calling her. He couldn't get her on the phone. He drove to her house. Now, schizophrenia does, they usually tend to be very secured in their security, like their privacy. So, no scary pop-ups or anything like that.
It's like Fort Knox trying to get into someone's home that has schizophrenia, yeah.
Right. Well, her door was unlocked when he got there.
I would shit myself as a brother.
So he knocks on the door. No one answers. Her car's still in the driveway. He goes inside and he calls for her, and then he notices the house is messy, which is out of place for her. And when her house starts being messy, that's when she's really going into
Like
a mental
through
health
it.
crisis, right? So he walks around the house, and then he calls their younger brother, because again, she's the middle child. He's telling him what he sees, and he's like, yeah, we need to call the police now, do a welfare check, potentially put in a missing person because we can't find her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So LVPD gets there, and it's found that her purse and wallet are still there. Her phone and keys are missing, though, but her car's in the driveway. So we find out in the process of this that her and her current boyfriend had gotten into a domestic violence dispute. He had called the family and told them that he took her keys and her phone to basically keep herself safe. When LVPD learn of this, they try and get him to come in. Well, he's not being very cooperative.
my God.
and instead sends his lawyer to drop off the keys and the phone. Yeah. So,
Okay,
obviously he becomes like number one suspect, right? Because
correct
you don't
me if
want to show
I'm
it.
wrong. If you're being asked to come down to the station, I don't know,
I
maybe LVPD does it differently, but like, don't you have to?
I think you can send a representative though. Like if you go ahead and get a lawyer, I think your lawyer can go in your spot. I don't know. I'm not. This is
I
not my degree.
I wasn't held up in contempt. I don't know.
Not at all.
And that's not okay. I also want to specify this again. This isn't a drag about her family.
Hmm.
This is more so just like poking absolute pokes to like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, anyways.
All right. So let's see. Where was I? Disarray. Car. So the LVPD basically put her down as a missing persons. They're not really sure if they need to they start doing like an investigation, but not a heavy enough investigation because she is an adult. She's 24 at the time of her disappearance and death. So they do this. So there's an episode on, and I caught it on Peacock, and I think it's through Oxygen. It's called The Sin City Murders, and it's season 1, episode 4 is her episode.
Oh my God, I remember this. Like, I remember this being advertised.
Mm-hmm. So she dates this she dates this guy, and this is an ex-boyfriend, but it's so cute because like he talks so highly of her, like so highly of her, because this wasn't the boyfriend of the time. This was one she dated prior. They were still staying as friends. Well, the other boyfriend that she has is very possessive. So apparently at some point he makes a "you can't DM people while I'm here" rule. And in my brain, I'm like, she is social media. Like that is her.
That's her job.
That's her job, right? Now, with her social media, she obviously being as pretty as she is and knowing how creepy men are, yes, cis white men, they were leaving the most disgusting comments all over her pictures. I want to marry you. I'd rather see this, stuff like that. And whenever, and I put this in the email to you, there was one of the articles I sent to you was explaining her, right? And they were explaining her job. And I got mad because they called her an adult entertainer. And she's a social media star. Like it wasn't like an OnlyFans girl. It wasn't anything like that. Did she take pictures?
She's a content creator.
Right. Did she take pictures in some lingerie? Sure, but she wasn't fully nude. She wasn't posting like, "Hey, come, I'm an escort" kind of thing, like one of those sly ones. She wasn't posting about an OnlyFans. She wasn't fully nude. She wasn't doing anything scandalous of that nature. Literally, it's kind of the same shit Kim Kardashian fucking posts. So are we going to call
Kim Kardashian has literally posted nudes of herself though.
I know. So are we going to sit there and say Kim Kardashian's an adult entertainer? Because that's what it's
Tap
giving.
dances on it. Yacht girls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not that Esmeralda was a yacht girl.
No.
Yeah, any chance I get to drag Kim Kardashian?
Do it. Oh my gosh. So 2015 is when she really got into social media. 2016 is when she really starts hitting her fame. And her photos become more of her in lingerie rather than designer clothes. But there's a good mixture because I scrolled through her social media. It's still up.
Wow.
And it's a mixture. She shows her jewelry. She shows like her lifestyle. She shows the party she went to. So, and you're in Vegas. I mean,
Vegas isn't the cleanest place.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like if you have been to Vegas and you're listening to this and you have or haven't, you know that they hand out literal little like postcards of call girls and like
Mm-hmm.
men and or women you can call to your hotel to like
Have fun.
You get to play name that body part with a random stranger.
And hopefully it's not flaccid, guys. No. Anyways, I have a story after we're done because my old coworker was telling, oh, you know what? Totally off topic. Anyways, so the I know I did well. The 31st, right? May 31st is when her brother comes to her house and is like, oh my
Of
God, my
what
sister's
year?
missing. 2019.
2019.
So they start canvassing the neighborhood. And one of the neighbors calls and is like, hey, I think I had an encounter with her early in the morning, about 2:30. So all of
AM?
these all of these neighbors,
Ugh.
most of the neighbors have, security cameras outside. Esmeralda had security cameras inside and outside. So leading up to the fight with the boyfriend, all the way till the 31st of whenever she's last seen, she's by herself. They searched all the cameras, they got the footage, she was by herself. So it's seen she's wandering around her neighborhood in lingerie, high heels, looking mentally distressed, and just walking up to random houses.
Oh my God.
So she goes to one neighbor's and he's like, no, I think you're at the wrong house. And she goes, oh, okay. And then she walks off. Well, then one of her other neighbors finds her. And so it's a little bit further in the day. So about early morning, later in the morning, I shouldn't say early morning because 2:30 is early in the morning. Later that morning, she is seen. There's a tip that comes in because her family's really pushing, right? They're putting out flyers, they're putting out a Facebook group, they're putting out everything to put heat on LVPD to get them to find her.
To investigate.
Right. So a tip comes in from a BMW dealership. And they give the footage, and she is shown with an unknown male walking around the dealership. And she still, again, is in lingerie and high heels. So she gets the key because she needed a key fob for her BMW. And then that's the last they see of her there. Well, the news reporter, this is the crazy part. So I watched the episode and I would have been the same way that news reporter was. She was setting up her equipment and this guy goes, excuse me. And she turns around and it's the guy that they've been looking for who was with her at the BMW dealership. And she's like, oh my God. He's like, I think they're looking for me. She... So
the guy walked up and was like, hey, I think they're looking for me.
Yes. So he clears himself because he explains the story. He said, I saw her wandering around in the neighborhood. She said she had lost her keys. So I took her to the BMW dealership, which he did. Everything's on camera. And then he drives her back home. She goes home. And somewhere in between, she starts wandering again. My guess is this time
is like earlier in the like more later, but still early in the morning.
Yep. And she wanders over to a house owned by Christopher Petrino, I think is how you say his last name. Prespatino.
Not close at all when you said it the first time.
No, not the first time.
It's a completely different person.
So, Chris Prespatino and a Cassandra Garrett have been arrested for killing a woman.
Oh, God.
By injecting her with pool cleaner, tying her up, submersing her into a box of concrete, and then dropping it off in the desert.
Okay, what? That's a little... Why? Okay, I have so many questions. For starters, where are you getting all this concrete?
Apparently from Home Depot across the span of a couple days because there's cameras. That's what boggles my mind when it comes to stuff like this.
We got cameras for fucking everything. We're being watched right now.
Yes.
And not just by the two of us. Like, there's an NSA agent literally tuning into this shit right now.
Going, what are these idiots saying today?
What are these creeps talking about today?
Right?
So they're going to Home Depot over the span of a couple of days, collecting all this. I mean, Home Depot makes sense. Did they pay cash? Do you know? Does it say?
They ended up renting a U-Haul, which has a contract. You have to sign a contract. All right, so.
Not the smartest.
They're not. Let's see. What else?
Pool cleaner.
Concrete. Box.
For drive.
U-Haul drove the body out to the box of the body out to the desert and dropped it off.
This isn't Esmeralda's body, correct? Or is this someone else's?
It's found to be her body. So the police go out there, they get the box, they do the DNA. And this came to be because of an anonymous tip. So there was a third party involved when this all went down.
Oh, Jesus.
So she's wandering the neighborhood, and I want to say it's within the same block. And he opens the door. She comes inside, and she's in clear mental distress. So they don't know what to do with her. So what does he do? Not to mention, this is the nastiest man alive. He ties her to a stripper pole he has in another room. So she's freaking out, clearly, even more. So you're already in an episode. Someone's basically holding you against your will at this point. So she starts threatening. She starts threatening that she's going to call the police when she gets free. So Mr. Chris decides he's going to choke her. And when he thinks she's dead, he leaves her. We'll come to find out he choked her enough, but she's not dead.
He choked her enough to pass out.
She wakes up screaming again. And this time, that's when he injects her with a pool cleaner into her body with a needle, like full on syringe. So there's three people involved. I don't remember the name of the other woman. So this is all going down, right? They buy all the shit, dispose of the body. One flies back to her home state. He runs off to Belize.
Remember what I said earlier about Belize?
Yes,
I take
you
it
don't
back.
want to go now. You don't. No.
Honestly, I'm busy that day.
Costa Rica, guys. We're gonna go to Costa Rica instead.
Are we though? Is something going
No.
on? No, what's going on? Is it Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico's going through some stuff.
Everyone's going through stuff, I feel like.
Honestly, everyone's going through some stuff. Joe Schmo next door is going through some stuff right now. Just not some pool cleaner shit. That's okay. So
they have to figure out, is he gonna come back? Right? Because now they figured out who did it, but they can't get him back to the States because certain countries just don't follow that rule, right? They don't, what is it, extradition,
yeah, they don't follow that. Which is why our good friend P. Diddy
is having a blast in the islands. No, I don't know.
Somewhere in the islands, but they don't follow U.S. extradition.
Oh, man. So, once Chris finally makes it back stateside, and he's back in Vegas, because I think he tries to hide for a bit and then comes back when he thinks the heat's off of him. How? I don't know.
Plot fucking twist.
You have women who were there involved, and they are ready to see you go down, and not them.
Wait, okay. I want to ask this, if you know this, because you're on something now. So was he holding other women in contempt?
Nope, the other two were his friends. And one of them was found helping him. So the one that calls the anonymous tip is the one that ran off, I believe, to, let me make sure, but she ran off back to her state. I think it was like Michigan or something.
Oh, good old Michigan, go blue. I'm just kidding. I don't fucking care about college football anymore now that I've graduated. I also never went to Michigan. I went to the University of Arizona. Bear down.
Bear down. So another tipster told investigators to speak to Trisha Ott. When she spoke with detectives, Trisha told them that Chris had asked her to come to his home for help. When she got there, she saw a U-Haul and a large, big wooden box in the garage. She told police in the recorded interview Cassandra was cleaning the garage and she was whacked out of her mind. Now, this is the other person who was there when he actually injected the pool cleaner into Esmeralda. She said that Chris was acting really paranoid, telling her this crazy story about this woman that he had at the house who freaked out. So he tied her up and he thought he killed her. Duh. People.
Whatever happened to, hey, how are you?
Hey, you look like you're a little mentally distressed. Let me call 911 and have you.
Like, okay, listen, respectfully, if you came to my home and you were mentally distraught, respectfully, I wouldn't let you in. I would outside on our porch, I would
call 911.
I wouldn't just, I mean, if you're my friend and you're coming over and you're mentally distraught, yeah, babes, let's let's talk about it. If you're a stranger, and also, there's a movie called The Strangers Chapter 1. I'm not doing this.
Are you gonna go watch it? When is that?
No, I heard it sucked. Did it?
And
I also heard tarot sucked. fact.
I know.
I think Sunday we're gonna go see I Saw the TV Glow.
Ooh.
But yeah. So Cassandra is whacked out of her mind, cleaning the garage.
Basically doing, who is that from Macbeth? Lady Macbeth.
The title card.
Right. I can't remember. I can't remember.
Today, babe. You're doing
I'm doing
so
great.
good. I'm so proud of you. You're excellent. Buy our merch, guys. It helps us.
It does.
For every single t-shirt purchase you make.
It helps me learn a little. No.
Well,
Helps me guess a little.
Listen, you guys, it's not that Chrissy's slow, okay? It's just that she's not fast.
I'm not
All
at all. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not definitely a tortoise, but I'm definitely not the hare either. I'm something.
She's definitely like
Probably a gerbil.
Honestly, Chrissy is the internet explorer of
I am.
racing. Like she gets to the finish line. It's just
It takes a minute.
we lag a little, okay? And that's okay. And if you have something negative to say it to me first so I can laugh out loud. You don't have to say it to Chrissy. Hey. And if you're gonna make fun of my friend, you already know I'm gonna send La Llorona after you. But it's after I've laughed in the fact that you've made a joke. I'm a really good person.
You are.
I am. I have a heart of gold. That's also because I have like carotid arteries. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna put that out there in the world. I am trying to live a healthy life and beat diabetes again. I'm so serious when I say that.
There you go.
And you know what? Much like a train, let's get back on track.
Yeah, that was a total derailment. All right. So investigate.
I don't know where I was going with that analogy. I was like, please, Lord Jesus, let the brain fog clear for just a second. I need amino acids and salmon. Like, all right. Okay. Deep breaths, big squats. I hope that everyone who's listening to this just has like really great bowel movements today.
Yeah. Nothing upsets your tummy.
Nothing upsets you. I hope that on your way home you hit every green light and not a person. I hope that people you just like step on a Lego barefoot. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, fuck like sending hate to someone.
Nope. Just send bird poop. Okay, coming back. So investigators determined that Chris had gone to Home Depot. He was seen on video purchasing wood, which means he built the fucking box. Wood, concrete, lime, screws, and more building materials. His phone records show that he spent several hours in the desert on June 8th.
Oh, because they can, even though you turn on, like you don't have to share your location. That's a fun little thing. So phones now, you don't have to share your location with anyone. If you ever turn over your phone, they can see how I think you need to be somewhere for at least 60 seconds for it to track. Like your phone needs to stand still in one position in one like locale for it to just register.
Ooh.
And they can pull that up. You can actually pull that up yourself to see like where you've been.
Nice. Good to know.
If anyone's ever cheating on you.
FYI.
If anyone's ever.
You can be your own PI.
You can be your own private investigator. And for the low price of $359, you too can go to home. Never mind.
Stop it. Okay. So please.
Like with ferocity in her eyes, folks.
So police learned that Chris's girlfriend, Lisa Mort, was in custody at a detention center on unrelated charges. When they confronted her, now this man had no other men help him in this, right? He called on all women. He kills a woman, calls on women.
That's like, that's anti-feminism, like 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not trying to say that as a joke. That's like, why do you hate women?
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. And he was... My guess is, like, the way that was inferred, he was like a sex addict, deviant.
He was a sexual deviant, allegedly.
All
Okay.
right. So.
Wow.
He calls. So they called the ex-girlfriend. She swears she knows nothing. Investigators flew to. Oh, it was Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to get Garrett, which is the accomplice, who was scrubbing the floor off the blood. Like. She denies anything and says she wasn't in the garage. Like,
baby, we never said where.
Right? So September 20th, investigators go to Chris's house with a warrant to search the residence and question him about Gonzalez. He says he's never seen her before. The search of the house turns up no direct evidence and the case is stalled. Investigators make a deal with Garrett. If she leads them to the body, they'll allow her to get her affairs in order before arresting her, because she ran off to Milwaukee. I think it dealt with a custody case. So Garrett eventually agrees. October 8th, after a lengthy search of the desert, they find a large wooden crate that has been dumped.
Was it buried or was it just placed?
Sounds like it was placed because it was just dumped. Like, and you know, enough wind and stuff, and it gets covered up by things. But I don't think they actually put forth effort.
And also, if you've never been to Las Vegas, like if you go like anywhere, if you go north of Vegas or to the Never Eat Soggy West, sorry, I have to do
I have to do that too. I'm like,
Never
oh,
Eat Soggy Waffles. If you go to the west of Vegas, like where the desert is before you start hitting like the mountains going into California, it's all desert.
Oh man.
It's all like desolation.
Yeah. Which is why it's so like the series that I watch this on, they have some wild freaking murders and they all end up in the desert. There's not too many of these killings where they end up not in the desert. And I'm like, guys.
What do you mean? There's not many murders that happen where you're like in like the trash can compressor of like a Bellagio. Yeah. Not to say that I know anything about that. That's alleged. That's a joke. I need to watch what I fucking say on this damn podcast. I just want to let everyone know that was a genuine joke. That was a pure, honest to God joke. Like, that's not okay. You know what, Chrissy, take it away.
Okay. So the way that the police get the box, right? And because it's got lime and it's got concrete and all of that stuff, the extraction of the body is harder. So, through DNA and the fact that she still had her Rolex on is how they managed to identify her.
He didn't take the Rolex off.
Well, you know, don't those have a serial number?
I was gonna say everything. Well, everything that's rich
has something that can be traced
that traces it back to whomever it was. Because I'm pretty sure if that thing showed up in a pawn shop.
Oh, and they would ask, even if you're pawning like jewelry you got from an ex, they ask you at a pawn shop if it's been cleared by your ex that it's okay that you sell it.
What if like, okay, because you can say like, oh, these were, my grandmother passed away, these were her old earrings.
I don't know about those, but I do know, like, especially when it comes to like engagement rings and stuff.
Yep,
like,
that I know.
They ask. All right, so Press-Patino, Garrett, and Mort were then charged in their roles for her death, Gonzalez's death. Garrett gave a statement, which, according to the detective, she said that a friend of Press-Patino saw Gonzalez wandering the neighborhood and brought her to the residence. In her statement, Cassandra said that Chris panicked because Esmeralda was acting strangely. So he tied her to the stripper pole in his bedroom.
Choked her out.
He untied her. Well, so there's a couple of altercations in between. So he untied her, and the struggle ensued that led him to striking her and then injecting her with the pool cleaner. So it is reported that Gonzalez was strangled and injected with a pool cleaner. The three suspects cooperated with the Clark County District Attorney. Mort pleaded guilty as an accessory to murder and was sentenced to 2 to 5. The sentencing drives me nuts. So she pleads guilty and gets 2 to 5. Garrett, the other woman, pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter because she actually saw everything happening. Pleaded with manslaughter with a deadly weapon and was sentenced to 20 years with early probation after 8. Eligibility.
That's so backwards.
Just wait until you hear about Chris's.
I swear to God, if this man is roaming free, I'm driving to Vegas right now.
Under a plea agreement, Press-Patino will serve a 10 to 25 year sentence for second-degree murder and 5 to 15 for kidnapping, with the sentences running concurrently. However, I did read recently, let me see if I can find that one, that he, if I'm not mistaken,
Don't say it.
it can get his sentence cut.
He needs to get his throat cut.
I don't disagree with that one. Let me see if I can.
Are you
No,
fucking kidding?
I'm not
What
kidding.
is wrong with
I don't
okay.
know. It's infuriating
There
when it
is
comes
one
to
there
shit
is
like
one
this.
thing that I can see that would play into everyone's favor in regards to sentencing.
Mm-hmm.
Saying this as Esmeralda, do any of those articles state of how mental capacity is factored in?
Let's see.
Because you can literally kill someone and plead insanity.
No, he didn't get that.
But no, that's what I'm saying
So
is like was Esmeralda's mental capacity factored into what happened, why, and the sentencing?
it was slightly, but I
Okay.
don't think it had enough involved in it to really make that big of an impact, because I mean, come on guys, call 911 as opposed to holding someone
Like
hostage
quite
in your house.
literally. And okay, I just want to specify everything that I said. I'm not making it okay that a woman was killed. I'm not making it okay that anyone deserves to lose their life based off of their own mental capacities and needing help. That is not okay. It's not okay to like visibly see someone going through mental distress and doing anything other than helping them. It's not okay.
Yeah. And the thing is that like, so there's this woman watching this whole thing go down, Cassandra, and she doesn't do anything.
Because isn't she in like Michigan?
No, she ends up she gets brought back, remember?
Oh, okay.
They said they bring her back. They let her get her orders in order so that, or her affairs in order so that they can bring her back and she could be charged the way she should. Yeah, I was mad about it, because the other part is because it took so long for all of it to go down, and then like you get arrested, you get put into jail or whatever, and then you have to sit and wait until your court hearing. Now all that time you sit and wait, that also counts towards your sentencing.
Yeah, like that's why they say time served.
So like, yeah, I feel absolutely terrible. The other thing is that like it wasn't one of those neighborhoods that were so big that you might not. I mean, I don't know what. I know in the South we tend to know our neighbors. I don't know what
In
it's
Arizona, we tend to know our neighbors.
Yep, because you want to know who's around you. The way this reads so weird to me, because like you're telling me you didn't know who she was, and he worked on the Strip. Like he worked for, I can't remember which casino it was, but he worked for one of them.
That gets me so like riled up, because how do you not know who this person is? And
I'm in the same boat. And they're scary looking.
Like the photos of the people
who did it. Yeah.
Text it to me. Oh my God. Text it to me, or is it in one of the things that you sent me?
It's in the People. So in the email that I sent you, it's the People magazine link.
Oh, People Crime. Yeah.
Like if you scroll down.
She looks gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, she was beautiful.
Oh, she was a Sigma Alpha Pi. Oh my God. He looks exactly what you would think he looks like.
Yep, he does.
Christopher Prestipino. Not Prespatino. You're making this man seem a little bit more godly than what he is.
I cannot. My handwriting's terrible.
Your handwriting? You typed it out, didn't you?
I thought I did. And the thing is I typed up what I written down.
He looks Ho, that's a La Llorona sentencing.
I know. Did you see what the women look like though as well?
In there. Oh my God, Lisa Mort. You know what else is funny? You know what's so funny? I don't know if you know this. You know what the French word for death is?
It's mort, right? Or
mort.
Yeah. Because like mortuary and all of that.
That's why, you know why, that's why they call your home loan a mortgage. Because you're sentenced to it until your death, essentially.
Oh my God.
Oh, I have another thing for you really quick. This is a necessary tangent.
Okay.
When you go to court, and what's that thing called that they hand you? You are blanked with, starts with a C.
Oh my God. Are you talking about when you have to like swear on the... That no
No. So when they say like, okay, we at this court are going to blank you with first-degree murder, assault, da da da.
charge.
And then when you go to jail, you are in a jail.
So, I like it.
So it's meant to like play on like the charge is the thing that puts you in the cell that sucks out your energy. There's a whole thing. Maybe this is going to be
we should do that one.
Maybe there's going to be a whole thing about words.
There you go.
Oh, like for example, and maybe this is what I'll talk about next week.
Okay.
What's the expanded format of TV?
TV,
like the thing you watch.
TV, television.
Say it slower.
Television. Oh.
So in case if you're ever wondering if the narrative is real or not, this is how they tell a vision.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
So many things. Okay, Lisa Moore looks disgusting. We'll just go with that because any photos I see other than Esmeralda's or her family's or anyone who's in support of Esmeralda, everyone here who's involved is disgusting. She needs a little help with her brows, Lisa. Cassandra Garrett, Jesus Christ. I'm not one to judge God's children, but I definitely know skin texture that needs a moisturizer when I see it.
Oh yeah.
This woman, this girl, how your eyes do that? Anyway, and also I really do want to say this is genuinely the first time we are seeing a photo of Esmeralda on the People News Report. She has graduated and it looks like it's college. Because I don't think you can be in a sorority or fraternity while you're in high school. Unless it's like an honors society.
And I don't remember what the exact degree is. There's a few varying sources. Some say it was for communications and media. Some said it was for like law school. So I don't particularly know what her degree was in.
Hey fam, Newman here from Movies for Days, your non-pretentious easy access movie chat podcast and weekly deep dive into any film from any genre, from any decade with anybody's guess as to how we chose that movie that week. Proud member of the You Run Podcast Network. Check us out where all great podcasts can be heard and on Twitter at Movies Days. Movies is spelled regular, Days is spelled with a Z.
There's nothing better than hanging out with your best friends chatting horror movies. At Voices from the Mausoleum, we have programming that covers everything from found footage to gaming, interviews, and even the first horror morning talk show. Come join us. We're all friends at the Mausoleum.
And so walk us through the timeline, because you know I'm a timeline whore.
Yeah.
When did the trial happen?
So the trial happened in October. Yeah.
October. What year?
2019?
The year that it happened. The year the murder happened?
Hold on. No, I don't think it went that fast, actually. No, yeah, it did.
Oh, wow.
Hold on.
That's a bit of a...
shocker, but it could be because it was...
legalese shocker.
It could be because of how high profile. You ever notice that high profile ones like immediately start going through its process?
Oh, like the whole Diddy thing, the fact that it was resolved in 6 hours? Like they went to trial and settled in 36 hours.
And that's the other part is they never went to a full trial because in the end they all pled guilty to something.
Great.
They all took a plea deal.
Why would they? This is why. Okay, I want to be like sensitive when I bring this next part up. I said sensitive really weird because my tooth hit my other tooth and it sounded like I had a lisp, but I don't. How do I say this? It has been confirmed and reported that Esmeralda did have like certain mental limitations. Okay. I'm curious as to how and if or why any remnants of I don't want to say remnants, that's a rude word. Any factors of her mental limitations or capacities were played into the plea deal. And that's not because I think that the people who murdered an innocent woman deserve a plea deal. That's just genuine curiosity. That's what I want to say. I do not condone murder. I do not condone negativity on anyone, especially the self. But Do you see where I'm coming from
Yeah, I
with like,
do.
my curiosity and like how that could sound fucking atrocious to an audience? I'm not condoning the murder of Esmeralda nor anyone with any, whether you're of sound mind and body or anything. I'm just curious if, how, and when
So I
things like that
think
play into it. I don't know.
I don't know. There was no real good, so like the oxygen episode didn't really go into it. And like searching for the court cases, the issue that I have is that like, especially if I go and search on like say TikTok, you get varying people because
My
there's tons of
husband,
true crime people on there. Tons.
honestly, the thing that I'll also say, just on a TikTok note, we're coming up on the hearing on if they're going to ban TikTok, and I feel like I know why they want to ban TikTok.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because every single thing about politicians, about world events, about celebrities is coming to light.
Oh yeah.
Like what they wanted to use TikTok for, I think backfired on them tremendously.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And now they can't hide because
they cannot. No one can hide now.
No.
Especially like I saw this thing on TikTok that was like you and I, as followers of certain celebrities and supporters of certain celebrities, you know that we dictate how much they make.
I thought that was fantastic. And you want to talk about some hits to wallets that have
All
been
you have to
happening
do
lately?
is how many followers has The Rock lost lately?
Oh, I don't know. So the people that I end up following are like, they're doing countdowns on like Kim Kardashian, the clan.
Oh, she's losing like by the millions.
The girl who literally did the Let Them Eat Cake, Haley Bailey, like hit 10 million and then immediately dropped. Because that's what she bragged about that night. She's like, oh my God, I hit 10 million. And then it went straight down. That was the most tone deaf, like insanity, Hunger Games feeling thing I think I'd ever seen on TikTok.
And especially after this year's Met Gala. Speaking of Hunger Games, I was watching, and we'll get back to Esmeralda real quick. Maybe we do need to have just a quick tangent, folks. I'm so sorry. Have you seen like is it montage? Is that what it's called? Like the montage of the Met Gala, but then the sound bite over it is the "Are you coming to the tree?" And I'm like, this is because then what they did was like here's the war between Palestine and Israel, and then here is this Met Gala happening, and then here I'm like, this is literally we live in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, they call Palestine District 12. So yeah. The Congo.
My question is, who's District 13? Because if you read your books, who's Katniss Everdeen? Okay,
it ain't gonna be any fucking person in America. We can already see
it ain't gonna
that
be
one.
anyone in America. No one here is gonna volunteer as tribute for anything, folks. What else was I gonna? I think it's really. I think it's great that we're finally getting into the era of just exposing celebrities for how disgusting they are. And I mean, like, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, there's also, and I don't want to call him a kid, but he's younger. He's like his early 20s, who did the most beautiful breakdown of trending how APAC basically has full power over our different voting of different politicians in. So like he was breaking it down. There's two Democrats going against each other. And when the one Democrat was like, yeah, I'm pro-Palestine, they literally, the one that was running against him, they basically paid off his campaign so that he could run against him. They spent $2 million in slander campaign.
So that's the thing that I want to preface this is I only know this because there's a deleted video now of Nancy Pelosi talking about this. Do you know how smear campaigns work?
I mean, aside from I see them and usually we're hitting below the belt now.
Yeah. So what happens is people like to treat whatever is written media or written work as factual because it is researched. Smear campaigns. Nancy Pelosi said this about Donald Trump. And by no means am I supporting Nancy Pelosi or Donald Trump in any capacity. This is just an example.
Right.
She said that like they would start a rumor of some sort. Nancy
Mhm.
Pelosi's people would start a rumor of some sort, pay off members of the press to write an article about it. And then they could say, like, well, obviously the press is the one leaking this information. They got wind of it. And that's how you smear that's how you smear someone.
Oh.
And then the other thing is as well, is that's kind of like how it works in like celebrity news, like
Mhm.
all of the stuff that like someone had mentioned this about the MTV VMAs when Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes performed Señorita together.
Okay.
And this goes for good and bad. They'll prep an article. They'll prep an online article, good or bad.
Right.
And then they want to be the first to leak it. They want to be the first to, like, you know, someone had, it was like some magazine, they had written an article about Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello performing Señorita, but they had a thing that was like insert image here, and it was a completely like drafted thing. It came out 2 hours before the VMAs even happened.
Oh.
And so they just prep these things. They prep different types of things. And then they're like, as it's happening, they pull it in. Cause like when you research like Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello VMAs, that news article wants to be the first one
Right.
on your search thing, because that's what gives them money.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
It is, but if you think about it, think about all the blind items. Like when we go back to like the Kyle Mercer Roth episode, like those blind items are like, they're dropped in. And sometimes they're dropped in on purpose by celebrities. And then that some of it is their actual disgruntled employees.
Oh, you mean like the fact that Drake has 20 people in his house and at least 2 of them want him dead? Courtesy of Kendrick, allegedly. And I say allegedly because no one should want anyone dead.
No.
Unless your name is
Facts.
So, okay, anyways, we have tangented for, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It kind of, if you think about it, it feeds in with it because she's a social media star. And like all of this is social media based. Like, could you imagine if she had the chance to kick it off onto TikTok?
She would have blown up like in the biggest way. She would have been the it girl.
So like, you know, there's those type of things. It's funny how you can also tell but the difference between I don't know, generations, because I think he was well into his 40s already. I think he was almost 50 when he killed her.
45.
He was 45. So like they don't really play on Instagram because that's what is that the boomers? Where's that?
No, that would be what's after boomers.
Gen X.
What's after Gen X? Not Gen Z.
Us.
Millennials. Yeah, millennials are more he would be considered whatever's before a millennial.
So Gen X.
Yeah, Gen X, because millennials are anyone born in 85 to 95. And then generation, like, what's the generation after millennials?
It's Gen Z.
No, it's not. There's one more.
Not Gen Z?
No, Gen Z starts at 2005.
Is it
I think it's generation. Yeah, it's Zillennial. They had to change it because they used to be my sister's generation. So from 1996 to 2005, it's Generation RX because those are the kids doped out on like prescription medication.
Oh my God. Those were the ones eating the Tide Pods.
I'm so serious.
Oh my, I didn't know that.
I'm so serious. Yeah, it's generation, like, that's why they call it Zillennials, because they can't.
Xanax.
Yeah, they can't call it anything else. And then Gen Z is 2005 to 2015. And so right now we're in the wave of like whatever is after Gen Z.
After Gen Z, Generation Alpha.
After Gen Z is Generation Alpha. The kids being born between 2015 and 2025 are Generation Alpha.
2013 to present is Gen Alpha. Gen Z was 97 to 2012.
That's Gen Z?
But there's so many different.
Millennial makes sense. Gen Z-lennial makes sense. Okay, I take back what I said. But I was pretty good on my dates.
You were really good on your dates.
Because I'm almost certain. I was like, technically, if you were born between 1980 and 1984, you're considered what's called an elder millennial.
Yeah. Which those are
Like an
obnoxious.
elder millennial. Because I fucking, oh my God, if there's one thing I can't stand in this world, it's an elder millennial. And honestly, I'm going to be the one to say it. I don't care what generation you are. I will go to bat. Millennials, we're the fucking shit. We're the fucking shit, dude. We were there to watch the internet get fucking created.
Mm-hmm.
We know exactly what the old school did, and we take things from them that we loved. We also see what the new school's doing, so we blend that shit together. We gave you guys reality TV.
Oh my God, the trash.
We gave you trashy reality. That was us, ho.
I was about to say, we should really do an episode on trashy, because
that was us. That
Flavor of Love.
That.
Flavor of Love. That's all I have to say.
Oh my God. Beyonce. Please don't ever disrespect Beyonce like this.
I put that up yesterday. I saw it. I was like, this is Ray never, so obviously Ray was never into that stuff. And then when we moved in together, and I was like, oh my, because Hulu used to have all of it.
Hulu, I remember, this is how fucking old I am. I remember when Hulu was free.
Yes, it was free. And I remember when Netflix first became anything, they were still beefing with freaking Blockbuster, because you used to have to go through a catalog and pick your DVD.
And then have them mail that. Do you guys remember? I don't know if anyone does, but like, comment below or clap your hands if you remember when Netflix was a DVD service.
Yes. Because I worked for Blockbuster as like a second job.
I remember I knew something was up with Blockbuster when I walked into my local Blockbuster, and they're like, hey, we've changed our regulations. Now you can rent movies for only up to 5 days. Because it used to be 7. You used to be able to rent movies for 7 days. I still have my Blockbuster card. And then I was like, what the hell's going on? What's happening?
I think their biggest issue was they were trying too much all at once. Had they just stayed the consistency that they were, instead of trying to do also like mailing in the DVD and stuff, I think they would have been fine.
And the thing is, what's so funny is people also have to realize anything, like, the oldies always come back. That's why it's called an oldie but a goodie. And if there's any Gen Zers who are listening to this, the one thing I feel like always comes back.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, oh my God. So have you been driven nuts by all the alpha kids that are like, look at this new fashion combo I have, and it's like the layered tank tops.
We fucking did that. Unless you've been to Wet Seal and Charlotte Russe, don't fucking talk to me.
And the good Charlotte Russe, not the Charlotte Russe now.
The good fucking Charlotte Russe, like Charlotte Russe Prime, like 2003 to 2010. Yep. Charlotte Russe Prime. Like, I don't know why I got so fucking heavy on that, but like, damn it, that was a fucking good place. Or like, back when Forever 21 was the shit.
Yeah, now it's like.
Back when H&M was the shit. H&M also, I don't know if people know this, H&M used to be affordable.
Oh, yeah.
Like, fast fashion. There was a reason why it's called fast fashion. H&M used to be affordable. Do you remember those Champion brand? We actually sell... Paranormal Misfits podcast actually sells Champion branded materials if you go on our Threadless website.
That's right.
And you might be able to find out some merch links in the podcast information below. Thanks. Do you remember when Champion brand was like $10 at Walmart?
Yes.
And now it's like 80.
Yeah.
I remember when Walmart sold goldfish and you walk 2 feet and then they sold guns.
Yes. Oh my God.
Like, so I don't want to hear shit. I think I remember this vividly. This was like maybe 3 years ago. I was at a grocery store with my aunt and I see this girl. She's maybe no more than 17, 18, but also it's hard to fucking tell because all the hormones they put in the food. She could have been 12.
She could have, yeah.
But for argument's sake, we'll call her 18. She had on one of those like tight like
chokers?
plastic chokers.
Oh my God.
She had her hair up in like two buns like this. And then she had a Thrasher shirt that went below her navel. And then she had bell bottoms on. And I'm like, bitch, you ain't original.
No.
We did this.
I'm going to send you a picture. I have to find it first. So my best friend and my daughter coerced my mom. I can't remember. It was like last year or the year before. When Hot Topic finally started bringing back their actual good shit.
Oh, thank God.
So they're like, look at our new clothes. And I literally take the picture and I go, Pam, I'm reliving our childhood right now because they had the fingerless fishnet gloves on.
Mm-hmm.
They had the plaid pleated skirts.
Like the true emo shit. Like the true like emo borderline Lolita shit. Because I remember when Hot Topic was Hot Topicing.
Oh,
some of the stuff that they sold, I was like, yeah, this is giving Lolita.
Yeah. I loved when Hot Topic had good clothes. And then they went all, I don't even know what to call it. But they had that, and you because they each got one of those chokers, and I was like, God. Oh my God.
We did this. Like, that's what I'm saying is like, no one had fashion like the millennials. Like, we actually had like cool shit. And I'm sure everyone born in the 80s is going to say something, and in the 70s, like, that's great and all. But like, ours was like, we literally took the 80s punk rock grunge and gave it like a classic makeover.
Yeah.
That's why when I can tell who's a millennial when I'm out in public and I see a millennial and they're wearing like a graphic tee, like a fucking Ghostface tee. I'm like, you're my kind of people.
That's
versus everyone now who's trying to look like a social media, buy my ebook, I made $1 million person with just like, yeah, exactly that. They're wearing like the tight fitted blue jeans or the dark blue jeans, and they're wearing like a simple collared shirt. And I'm like, okay, this is like upscale. This is like new money. You're giving new money. Come to find out, also, all those people who are like, do you see this mansion I'm living in? You could have this in your life too. Be sure to buy my ebook. They're renting an Airbnb. They don't even live there. Anyways, I don't want to take us too off because we did well today.
We did do well today.
We did, and I know we often bring that up, y'all. I know we often bring up like how well we do in these episodes.
We get really proud though. I just sent it to you.
Okay, let me see this. Really quick so we can get an audience immediate reaction.
Do you know they had the
this but better.
The audacity
we
to
did
go,
this but better.
They had the audacity to go, you didn't have this in the 90s. I was like, bitch.
Bitch.
Hot Topic came when I was a kid.
Hot Topic came out in the 90s.
Right? Do you remember Discovery? What was it called? Discovery the Discovery store?
Yeah. Discovery Zone or something like that?
Yeah. Okay.
So basically what Christy and I are trying to tell you guys. Stop trying to act not your age. It's one thing to dress professionally, but if you're a millennial, fucking own it. And genuinely, I hate to break it to every single person listening. We are the best generation.
I have a Daria shirt on. Six Sad World.
Oh,
I love Daria.
Daria. And I hate to bring up like Nickelodeon and all that stuff. Like, them shows were good. Like, we had good. Do you guys remember? Sorry, as if like there's an audience of people. Do you guys remember the pilot episode of Lizzie McGuire talked about Kate stuffing her bra?
Yes. I loved Lizzie McGuire.
I love Lizzie McGuire pushed. Yeah, I own the movie.
Yes.
Somewhere
like in here.
No, I'm literally like, where the fuck is it? It's somewhere in here. I owned the Lizzie McGuire movie when she went to Rome.
I also bought because I was so obsessed with the soundtrack.
All right, that's too much, babe. I do have Lizzie McGuire's debut album, Metamorphosis.
I do, yeah.
Metamorphosis. What? And also, did you guys know that Hilary Duff is the singer for the Sweet 16 theme song?
Really?
I'm gonna spread my wings, Sweet 16, discovering Sweet 16. There's so much more to life, Sweet 16.
That show drove me absolutely fucking nuts.
Oh, dude, I literally the 2 episodes came out of Arizona. We're not going to get into that because
Okay.
this episode we're
Okay,
going to end
you're
the
right.
episode.
We're ending the episode.
But so I would I want to. Do you have anything to say before I have 2 things I want to say before I do the outro? Do you have anything that you want to say?
So, mental health, guys. If you're seeing someone in actual distress, like call someone. Call
Please.
proper help. Don't do what these idiots did. Don't do that. Also, coming from someone who used to have to sit with Baker Acts in hospitals, call someone. Don't try and handle things on your own because you don't know how volatile it can get. Like I had my first night when I sat with someone, he threw an IV pole at me. So, and I was in a hospital. So I can only imagine what it's like outside and like the house. Like call. There's plenty of numbers. Don't immediately call the police. Just call for an ambulance if you have to. Don't go the route of the police.
You can also
They don't know
call
how
a
to handle it.
non-emergency line.
Yeah. But I don't know how long it would take for someone to come get them when it comes to the non-emergency.
I'm saying that as an option.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
As an option. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. Also, well, one more. If you do want to watch the episode, you can catch it on wherever Oxygen's streaming. It's Sin City Murders, Season 1, Episode 4. I know I didn't do it very well. It's my first time. I covered basically the basis of all of it.
Yeah.
But if you want more, definitely,
Check out the
there's plenty of, check out the episode and you can do a quick search in, oddly enough, TikTok because there are so many freaking true crimes. That was a lot to go through. That was a lot. Okay.
Jesus. 3 things I want to say before I do the outro. Number 1 is if you or anyone you know is in a potentially or definitive violent relationship, speak up for them. Get them out of that situation.
Right.
Or if you are in a violent relationship or what could be considered a violent relationship, I'm not telling you what to do because I don't know your situation, but if there's an opportunity for you to seek help, please do so in any capacity that you can that keeps you safe. Going off of what Chrissy also said, if you are approached by someone under mental duress, they're probably looking just for someone to talk to.
Cool, calm, collected. Don't.
Cool, calm, collected. The quick story that I have with this is I was at my ex-best friend's house. This was like years ago. This was like summer 2014. And they were having like a little party. And 2 of the kids from my ex-best friend's little brother got into an argument. One walked away out of the house holding a gun.
Oh, no.
One walked out of the house holding a knife. And we had to separate the 2. And I walked alongside the guy that had the knife.
Oh, no.
This man could have killed me at any point. I mean, he wouldn't have. He was a little scrawny little thing. But still, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So luckily, we were able to kind of cool things over. So anyways, if there's ever anyone in mental duress who approaches you, cool, calm, and collected, just like Chrissy said. Those things. If you are listening to this on YouTube, feel free to give us a like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you're listening to this on iHeartRadio podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify podcasts, please give us a 5-star rating.
Yes.
And also just a reminder that we are a part of the You Run podcast network.
Mm-hmm.
And now, ladies and gents, I feel like every time I say this the first time, we know you don't want to leave, but if you do have to go, you might as well creep out. Bye, y'all.
Bye.